Coming soon, The Assassination, an investigation into a true story that shook the world. A new podcast from the BBC World Service. Subscribe to The Assassination now, and you'll get every episode automatically.
This is the BBC. For details of our complete range of programmes, go to bbcworldservice.com/podcasts.
Welcome to the latest global news, compiled in the early hours of the morning on Saturday the 23rd of December. I'm Claire MacDonald with a selection of highlights from across BBC World Service News today. Coming up, in New York, the UN Security Council votes through tough new sanctions against North Korea.
This resolution ratchets up the pressure on North Korea even further, building on our last resolution, which included the strongest sanctions ever imposed on them.
Two former football officials are found guilty in a US court of corruption charges. Also, police in Iran arrest over 200 people drinking and celebrating at a winter solstice party. But is this heavy-handed approach working?
There was a time that they thought that by raiding these parties and by arresting people, they could make people stop doing this, stop making these parties. But that's not happening.
And the Japanese tradition of Beethoven at Christmas. All on the way. But we begin this podcast in New York, where the UN Security Council has voted unanimously to adopt tough new sanctions against North Korea. The measures proposed by the United States are in response to Pyongyang's test of an intercontinental ballistic missile last month. Here's the American ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, speaking soon after the vote.
9 times before today, we have asked the North Korean regime to choose the path of peace. And if they do, we would welcome them back into the community of nations. But Pyongyang has chosen the path of isolation. As we have in the past, we will continue to match the Kim regime's choice of aggressive actions with actions of international sanction. This resolution ratchets up the pressure on North Korea even further, building on our last resolution, which included the strongest sanctions ever imposed on them.
Well, the Chinese ambassador to the United Nations, Wu Haichao, called for an immediate stop of nuclear and ballistic activities by North Korea.
今天安理会通过的决议表明了国际社会
Mr. President, the resolution adopted by the Council today reflects the unanimous position of the international community in opposing the Democratic People's Republic of Korea's development of nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities and in maintaining international nuclear non-proliferation regime. China urges North Korea to take seriously the demands of the international community, abide by and implement the Council resolutions, and refrain from conducting any further nuclear and missile tests.
Well, our correspondent, Nada Tawfiq, told us more from New York.
Just to give you a sense of how much these sanctions will bite, according to the United States, North Korea in 2016 imported 4.5 million barrels of refined petroleum. Now, under